Thank you, Ross, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for being here. The theme of this panel is the pursuit of capital. We have a great panel lined up, but first let me thank USI of Southern California Insurance Services and US Bank for being our sponsors of the Pursuit of Capital panel, and of course Clear Channel Outdoor for sponsoring the track. The biographies of each of the panelists are already in your material, so I'm not going to tell you an awful lot about them, but I do want to have them introduce themselves at some point, give you 2 or 3 minutes of what they do, and then we'll get into the questions. With us today is Troy Bosch. He's a Senior Vice President of Bank of America. Big round of applause for him. Dan Licken, Senior Vice President, Manager, Commercial Banking Group for US Bank. Seems that we love the bankers in the room. Yuho Park, Lead Lender Relations Specialist, SBA, Los Angeles District Office. Thank you, Mr. Park. And Dennis Santiago, Chief Executive Officer for the Institutional Risk Analytics. Let's give him a round of applause. Like I mentioned to you, I'm very happy to be here today because, one, California could certainly use a loan. That's my attempt at humor. But two, because I've got a wife who's a small businesswoman who also is in the pursuit of capital. So we're very interested in hearing from our experts here today about how do we get to a place where business owners can get a loan. So very happy to moderate the panel. What we'll do is we'll spend a little time having the folks introduce themselves, then we'll move to questions from the panel to one another, and then we'll open it up. So with that, we'll go ahead and start to my left here. Troy.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Assemblyman. My name is Troy Bosch, and I'm with our Senior Vice President with Bank of America. Work with companies that do between $250,000 and $20 million in annual sales. And the topic as far as kind of as far as how to get a business loan and that type of thing, I wanted to address. And, you know, they're the basics that we talk about, which is, you know, positive cash flow. We talk about good credit history, some collateral, what have you. I think the single biggest thing that's missed a lot of times when we're going through the process, and it's at the beginning of the process, and that is the purpose. Very, very often it's overlooked as far as, you know, letting us know the dollar amount, specifically what you're going to use the money for. What's that going to mean as far as the profitability, how many jobs you're going to add, and then ultimately kind of what's the time horizon as far as, you know, paying back that loan with the bank. So, you know, that's a great starting point for us. Also, as far as, you know, going through the process, try to avoid what I call the line of credit trap, which is, you know, in business lending, a lot of times we think line of credit is the end all for every single need. And it's really not. There's really two things we're looking at as far as a line of credit is concerned, as far as need, and that is accounts receivable and inventory. And those are really, you know, those are short-term assets. You want to turn your inventory, you want to turn your accounts receivable. Really, you're going to match those up with a short-term liability, which is a line of credit. Everything else, as far as equipment purchases, business expansion, tenant improvement, commercial real estate loan, all those things, you know, you're really looking at a more of a term loan where we're setting you up on a plan. So once again, whether we're talking about a $10,000 micro loan or a $10 million commercial real estate loan, it's really the same concept as far as really communicate with us the purpose. And then the last thing I would mention as far as financial reporting. Financial reporting, tax returns, what have you, super critical. We know we've got some clients, you know, as of October 15th, September 15th, we're still on extension. They're still wrapping up the tax